What's up, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and welcome to Rental Reasons, the show where I look at whatever game I'm currently renting from GameFly and tell you why I'm probably not keeping it. And spoiler, the reason is usually I don't have the money. But that being said, this is Transformers Devastation for the PS4, the brand new Transformers game from Activision, made by PlatinumGames, who you may know from games such as Bayonetta, The Wonderful 101, Vanquish, etc., etc. This is their new joint, Transformers, and this is G1 original-ass Transformers, which, as someone who grew up with that stuff in the 80s, is fantastic. This is a character action game, and I'm going to jump into, Chapter 3 here, and show you what this game's all about. But if you've played games like Bayonetta, you kind of have an idea of what this game is. So, we have 5 Transformers to choose from on the Autobot side. You only play as the Autobots. So there's Optimus, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Grimlock. They all kind of play the same, except for Grimlock plays a little bit different. So I'll get into that later. But let us kind of go through some menu stuff real quick. This game's actually a bit deeper than you might expect. There is a weapon system that you have for your 2 slots of melee and 2 slots for your ranged weapons. And there's a bunch of stuff. So basically, this game has loot drops, which is weird to think about. But there's a bunch of loot here. You can equip it. You can synthesize it by, combining it. You can feed guns to guns and make them gain levels, and that's cool. You've also got your tech, which is basically stat boosts in different things, and you can craft that out of just, spending money. Those are a bit random. And then you've also got your actual level here, and I spent most of my time so far with Optimus. You can just straight up use your cash to gain more bars here and get higher levels. And then finally the lab has your usual, PlatinumGames buy moves type stuff. And I actually went to the wrong thing there. So obviously things like your combos and your parries and that kind of stuff is all in here. When you buy it for one character, it's unlocked for everybody. So that is the first thing I say do in this game is get all of the moves unlocked. That was one of those things in Wonderful 101 that was really important to do first and foremost. So, I'm going to be Optimus because I spent most time playing as him, but rest assured the other 3 vehicles are the same, and only Grimlock plays a little bit differently. And I will say straight out, I'm playing on easy because I'm an old man, and character action games are not my forte. I like them, I like PlatinumGames, but at the same time, I am terrible at these games because my reflexes are not what they used to be. So you've got these cutscenes. I mean, the story here is okay. It's decent. It's kind of, a bog standard Transformers. There's Megatron, obviously, and there's the Decepticons, and there's Nova Prime, and cyber forming. Basically, they want to turn Earth into a new Cybertron. They got back a lot of the original voice actors, the ones who are still alive. So you had the actual voice of Optimus and Megatron. All those guys are, they're getting a bit old. They're getting a bit up there in the years. So, we are searching for a Decepticon. This game is cel-shaded. This game looks phenomenal. This is easily the best-looking Transformers G1 game ever made. Period. This is bad-ass. So, that part of it is fantastic. This stuff here, I can just get my null ray and shoot through. The combat stuff with the ranged weapons, I'm not super fond of, but the combat stuff with the melee is about what you expect. It's not quite as deep as, say, a Bayonetta or a Vanquish or, any of those games, but it's good enough. We're just going to avoid that. Avoid those guys and head through here and get through this tunnel here to get back into the city. This game is pretty short. In terms of, a story-based game, you can finish it in about 5 hours on easy. Obviously, if you're playing on medium, hard, or any of the other unlockable difficulties, would take you much longer. Additionally, there is 50 challenges to go through. And obviously, if you are interested in the loot drops and getting the best possible weapons, there is plenty of loot to collect. But I haven't seen that the weapons really impact your stuff that much. A little bit, but outside of, a visual change. I'm screwing that up. Whatever. outside of a visual change, I haven't seen much reason to, like obviously you can get ones with better numbers, and that's important. But I haven't seen much of a reason to, to spend that much time with the weapon crafting system, because it kind of seems like if you're alright at the game, then you're alright at the game, There is some stuff with the vehicle stuff in the stages, I screwed that up, got frozen. But it's, it's not terrible, it's not great. The core of it is, the Transformer on Transformer combat, which we haven't gotten into yet, which we will shortly. The game is pretty fast-paced. I'm supposed to be fighting Thundercracker here, which means I gotta shoot his dumbass. And these things are not helping me at all. Get him. Well, this is not working. Where is he? He's like right there. Hey, Thundercracker. Really? With this shit? Really? This is where you start botching my entire life. What else is new? Wait, did he go the other way? Where'd he go? Perhaps not the best part of a stage to... The barrier stuff in this game is really just annoying. There are guys with shields, which are quite possibly the most annoying things in the game, because you have to be doing a certain move to defeat it with the shields, and I don't like it. The stage stuff, like the actual non-Transformer graphics here, are, they're passable. They're obviously going very much for how the show looked, which I can certainly appreciate. But, they're perhaps a bit simplistic. Do some of that. Shoot him some more. He'll fly away some more. And then it kind of continues like that for this stuff. So we're going to see if we can't get him in a one-on-one fight here. Hopefully. Where'd he go? There he is. He's almost there. Almost got him. Nope. Oops. There we go. A ranking. Obviously, I'm playing it on easy, so, that is what it is. And then we get more cutscene stuff. The cutscenes don't quite look as good as the game. I don't know if they're, like, not in-engine. They're, like, pre-rendered, and it's running at a different resolution, but some of the shading looks kind of off to me, whereas the game itself looks better. But, granted, this game is on the PS4, Xbox One, PS3, and Xbox 360, so obviously, at a certain point, it gets scaled down to the lowest common denominator for some of this stuff, and that would be, the 360. So, there's that. But yeah, the story's pretty bog standard. Just consider it a very long episode of Transformers. The main meat of what you're coming in here for is the combat, and there are 50 challenge stages to unlock, and we'll get into that as soon as I, play a little bit farther to kind of get into what the combat is like. Show a little bit more of how this stuff works. There are some very large bosses. I thought the boss stuff was not quite up to snuff with what Platinum usually does in things like Bayonetta and Wonderful 101, but it was pretty cool. There is some cool stuff in here. Like, nothing as cool as, like, hey, you're fighting Unicron. There is no Unicron in this game, unfortunately. Perhaps for a sequel, that'd be cool. I hate the shield guys. They're the worst. And we go this way, and just ignore that shit, because who cares. More vehicle stuff as we make our way through this stuff here. You can tell where you're supposed to go, because that's where all the purple crap is. So, here we are in our combat scenario, which will be... Who is this? I forget. This dude. So there are a handful of, like, kind of generic dudes they made. Like, not everybody has a name, is a named character. I think this is the first instance of seeing this guy. And here we are in the melee combat, which is kind of the bulk of what the game is. You've got, light and heavy, but basically it's a square and triangle is your melee attacks. The R1 is your dodge to kind of go into a witch time type, deal. If you played a lot of Bayonetta. It's very, very similar to that. There is a parry system. I haven't really found it to be that useful, but perhaps I'm just not good enough to use it correctly. But it is certainly in here. And there's my S rank for that. But again, I'm playing on easy. So, you kind of get the idea of how the story flow goes here. Pick up, your drops here. You can go in here to change characters. But we're not going to do that because we're just going to head into the challenge mode because that's kind of, a better idea of how this game works. But rest assured, there is about a 5 or 6 hour story in here. So we're gonna head back to the main menu here and hop into the challenge mode, which is kind of just pure combat, which is where the game shines, really, in the combat. Now, you unlock this stuff as you're playing through, so I don't have them all, because obviously I would unlock them on higher difficulties. I only played it through on easy. So, that being said, we're going to fight the Constructicons here in Mission 2 with Optimus Prime. And, then you will see what happens when you fight all of the Constructicons in this game. As soon as it loads here. There we are. So, the multi-transformer, like when you're fighting a bunch of guys at once, it kind of gets really busy and really chaotic. You have a move here on L1, which allows you to kind of do a clearing type move. There's also one you can do with, I think, triangle. It's like a push move. But I'm not good at getting it to work. And you're really just kind of going hog wild and trying to dodge as best you can. There's also kind of a screen clearing move that is my meter in the top, damn it, in the top left corner there with my face thing. And that, when that fills up to full, it's in clicking in both sticks gives me a big move, which is nice. But it's basically, at the end of every combo you get, it gives you the option to do a vehicle attack. And I don't know if there's a way to really chain beyond that, but the combat here is not quite as in-depth as other Platinum games. Now, the last time that Platinum did a game with Activision was the Legend of Korra, which, from my knowledge, was not very good. I didn't actually play it, but people said it, for being, a Platinum Games joint, not great. So, this seems to be way better than that. And here is Devastator, ready to fuck my shit up. And so, he's in here, Menasor is in here, there's a bunch of big dudes in here to fight, which is pretty cool. The end of the game does kind of tease a potential sequel, and I'm hoping that this game sells well enough that would happen, because certainly the core of the gameplay here is pretty good, and it can be built upon, and I would like to see it be built upon, because you can always go bigger and crazier, and I would, that'd be awesome. But I want to be able to get to my special move here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get there or not. He might die first. Come on. Nope. Didn't get it. Anyway, rank B on that stuff. We're going to kind of head into a harder one, and I will show you the Grimlock stuff, and then that will be the end of this rental reasons. I like this game. I don't like it enough to buy it, but I like it. And it is an excellent rental because you can kind of get through it in a few afternoons. Unless you are obsessed with getting everything, doing all the difficulties, which I never do. Never happens. I've got too many games to play in my vast collection that are unfinished. But I always want to see what's new, etc., etc. So we're going to head into, like, what is it, like 19? We'll do 19. And I'll do 19, hold on, nope, 19, and then we'll go with Grimlock, who is the Dinobot Commander, and his stuff is a bit different because he is a dinosaur, so, he's got like a built-in, like, flame breath deal, which is not the best thing in the world. So here we are, I can transform, but I can use circle to run faster, which nobody else does, and it's really weird. I mean, like, the controls for the most part are the same, but just how he handles his vehicle mode stuff, which obviously is a dinosaur, is weird, and his default attack with the flame breath is kind of useless. Like, I don't know what situation that would actually be a good thing to use. and I'm just terrible at using Grimlock, so perhaps that's my inadequacy as a video game person here. But yeah, like, even that's different. Like, you grab and then just huck them into the ground. Like, no one else does that. And I hate the shield guys. So the shield guys, you have to be in a vehicle, going at top speed, and then hit an attack button to take out their shield. And that's really annoying, to be honest. But we'll keep on whipping some ass here as Grimlock. But yeah, this stuff gets a bit busy, and my reflexes are not what they once were, because old age. But I do like this. Like, as someone who likes... As someone who hasn't liked Transformers kind of past G1, this is almost exact, you know, like what I would have wanted, or what. This is the best you could hope for, you know. This is a game based on a franchise from a talented studio. It's the best you can ever hope for in a licensed property, much like when Rocksteady did Batman. Although obviously those games are a lot better than this. But that being said. Just rolling. There we go. Smash them. But yeah, so what we're supposed to do here is go into Grimlock, hit circle, and then hit punch to... But, you know, the lock-on stuff, like, it locks onto the nearest enemy, not always the best thing in the world. So here we go, I'm going to back up here, get out of the way, and hit 6, and then you do that, and it's like, boom! And a lot of guys die. But not all of them, because there's going to be a lot of them. So you kind of keep on doing your thing. If you like this kind of combat and you like Transformers, then you can't ask for much more than this, because it is phenomenal. But if character action games are not your thing, then you might not get as much out of this. And you know, like, if you're looking for, like, if you don't like the gameplay and you're looking for a long game, you're not going to get one of those here. This is the kind of game you're going to play over and over again if you enjoy this style of gameplay. And I hate the shield guys. That's just me, though. Nope. See, sometimes the lock-on is not what you want it to be, and that's really frustrating. Because this shield guy is just kind of fucking my shit up. There we go. There are a number of items, stuff to heal with, etc., etc., and that stuff is fine. But if you're playing on easy, the chances you're going to die is, you have to be real bad at this game to be able to die on easy. Because it is pretty lenient with, as long as you are mashing on that dodge button, it is pretty lenient in how it handles the combat. Enough! But again, I'm way better with Optimus than I am with Grimlock, because he's a bit trickier to control in how they made his stuff work. Just punch you in the face! There we go. Like that. And obviously he does have, his own guns here. But I found that the range stuff is not great, and you have a very limited amount of ammo with it, which is kind of crappy. Warning. Devastator again? Okay, well. That's fine. We'll fight him again, and beat him again, and that will wrap up this video here. He will get my badass attack here in a second. Come on. There it is. Fire! Boom. Mission complete. SS on easy. You put me on hard, it is not the same thing at all. But got some loot, got some skills for kills, and I'm a dinosaur, and I like dinosaurs. But all that being said, if you enjoy Transformers G1, if you enjoy PlatinumGames' style of character action games, or if perhaps you played a lot of Devil May Cry back in the day, it's that kind of a thing, then this is certainly a great game. But be aware, the amount of content can be kind of thin. So know that going into it. It is not a full price release. It's $50 instead of $60. But as I said, it is a great rental, and I would know because I rent a lot of games. So I'm a tax slug. This was Rental Reasons, and I will see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.